I'm Lorizio, and welcome to my channel if you haven't been here before, or welcome back if you have. I am going to be asking Spirit about Starseeds, and this number 144,000. It's a number that a lot of teachers speak about, but no one really... Well, from what I've seen, no one's really asked more questions or delved any deeper than that. And I've had this idea pop in my head a few times, and I'm like, is that accurate? Is that what the 144 really is? Like, is that how it's working? So I set my tarot cards with some crystals around them and just sort of spoke to my angels and whatever light beings were listening, and just sort of asked if they would help me to channel some information and then confirm it with the tarot. So the thought that has come to me a few times over the past few weeks, or it may be even longer than that, but just sort of maybe once or twice a month, this thought pops into my head. I think of the 144,000 Starseeds. Oh my god. I always I know it's Starseeds in my head, but for some reason I always go to say Lightseeds. So I don't know. If I say Lightseeds, I mean Starseeds. I don't know why I keep saying Lightseeds. I guess that's just what they call it, you know. Starseeds, Lightseeds, whatever. You know what I mean. Souls of high vibration that came to the planet to help us with Ascension. I think I'm one of those. I did a past life regression before I had even heard about Ascension. Like, my master teacher didn't tell me about it. If she knew about it, she didn't say anything. But, you know, a good master teacher won't just tell you things. They'll lead you to the information, and you have to work it out for yourself when you're ready. So I had a past life regression, and in this past life regression, I think she was asking me about where I was before I came into this life, and I said that I was in front of just this little cottage, and it was just in front of a forest, like a pine forest or something like that, just a forest. And in front was just all sprawling green hills, and it was just peaceful, and it was like a resting place. And then I was sitting there like reading a book or something, or lounging in the sun out the front of my little stone cottage, and then I just stood up, looked into the sky, and just went. And she's like, where did you go? I was like, I don't know, just came here. Like I was told to go there, or like I felt compelled that I had to. So part of my journey, I think, has been, I think I was in a resting place, in like an in-between place between lives. And, but I heard the call from the soul of the earth, like, help me. Things are going wrong and I can't do this on my own. You know, the humans are going to fuck it up. Which we would, you know, humans, like, God, we can't help ourselves. So I went from a resting place in between lives. And my spirit guides have just said, you know, it's not always needed to go to a resting place, but if you've just come out of a hard life or a difficult experience, you know, you have to go to the resting place. So I was in the resting place, and I should not have left yet, but I did, to come here. And since birth, really, my health has never really been quite right. When I was 2 weeks old, I died. I vomited and inhaled my milk, so I asphyxiated on my own vomit at 2 weeks old. But my mum was a registered nurse, and so she revived me. I think it took her like 4 minutes to revive me. And when she found me, I was like blue, or like purple, or like dying, basically. So that happened when I was 2 weeks old. My whole life I had chronic bladder and kidney issues. I'm just looking at my candle, and like the the light is like this big. I was like, oh, should I be talking about this? And I just look over there and it's like really high. So I was like, okay, yeah, the energy's high. So I'm like, yep, I'll take that as a sign. So my whole life I had chronic bladder and kidney issues. I had a genetic defect on my bladder, which doctors found and fixed when I was 9. Before that, they told Mum that I was a lazy child, and that I was getting infections because I was holding my urine for too long. That's not what was happening. And then at 13, I developed autoimmune disease, and I'm still trying to pull myself out of that. But I think that they were like, hey, you've been in a resting place. You're not supposed to be going into another life yet. So I feel like part of my deal was, okay, you can come back, but for the first 30 odd years of your life, you are going to be in a resting place, which is basically what I feel I've been in. So it kind of makes sense to me, but I'm like, okay, I think I'm ready now. I think I've had enough rest. I think I'll be okay. So I think that my karmic contract for resting is, I'm not there yet, but I know I'm getting close, and I just have to keep resting. That's my job right now. But also detoxing, making good choices for myself, and all of that. So I think I am a starseed. My soul name is Lilariziel. So, we're all of the light, for a start. But yeah, I think I definitely came to help. And even as a child, like I grew up in a church and a school and things, and so I've always been aware of the poverty and the starvation and the sickness, and especially in third world countries, I've always known about that stuff because, you do a lot of philanthropic work through church and school when you're in like a religious upbringing. We did 40-hour famines, and we're always raising money for something, or so yeah, those parts of the world weren't hidden from me, and I always thought my whole life, oh, if this world isn't different by the time I leave it, I'm just going to be heartbroken. I just always had this thought, like, oh, if things aren't better before I leave it, like, oh, I'm going to have failed, or it's going to break my heart. It's going to really hurt if the world isn't completely different by the time I leave it. So, and this was decades before I knew about Starseeds. I keep wanting to say Lightseeds, so if I do say that, you know what I mean. So yeah, so the download that I've been getting is that the 144,000 is actually, that people say that 144,000 souls came to help with the Ascension process, to pull humans off of this constant reliving of experiences and not being able to get off this karmic wheel where you live it and then it drags you down and you can't quite climb out of it, so okay, you have to live it again. So I feel like I did come here for that. And people always talk about the 144,000 souls that came to help. But that just never felt quite right for me, and I'm like, why hasn't anyone asked if that is just the constant number of starseeds that are here? Like, there are billions of people on this planet. I'm like, how can it only be 144,000? But no one's really asked any questions or said anything about this. So I feel like the 144,000 is actually a number that from when Starseeds started incarnating, that I think my spirit guides are saying there was a bit of a building. So, okay, they said that they didn't want to shock the system of human beings. So they came in slowly and built to 144,000. They're saying in the 80s, so I feel like in the 80s was when they got to that 144,000. Now, since then, and I didn't know that was the point, but I feel like since then, yeah, they're saying there's a constant stream of, they're saying Lightseeds, so I'm not going to say Starseeds, I'm going to say Lightseeds because that's what they're saying to me. So they're saying that, and it's a feeling that I've had, that there is always they're like 1985, from 1985 onwards, there has always been, and they're saying will always be until this ascension process is finished. They're saying that there will always be 144,000. Oh, they've just said bare minimum. So that means that we can surpass that number now, I feel like. They're saying yes. They're saying yes. They're saying you can surpass that now. You've got to the tipping point. So there's going to be more and more light seeds to help. Oh, they're saying to help speed up the process. It had been slowed down. They're saying because the humans weren't learning fast enough. They weren't evolving fast enough. So it was slowed down. But now we've got to that tipping point and now we can speed up. So from 1985, they're saying till just recently, there's always been 144,000 light seeds working, even just living and putting their energy into the world. Oh, they just said breeding their energy into the world. That's interesting. So, you know, when you have kids, it's like putting more light into the human race. So yeah, my feeling was that there's always 144,000 light seeds, and that when one light seed leaves their life, another one is instantly here. So from 1985 until recently, it's been a constant one goes, one comes down, one goes, one comes down, so that 144,000 vibration holds. And so they had us in a holding place for a while. They kind of built to it to 1985, and then they had us in like this holding pattern where the light seeds are like slowly starting to wake up, and they're saying integrating more light and then feeding that down into the collective consciousness of where we are in this physical reality. So they just said trans-physical. Like, what does that mean? Okay, so they're saying that to us it's physical, to them it's just, that's only a small part of it. So yeah, so there's probably going to be more and more light seed. I just can't say star seeds. I just can't. I'm sorry. I'm going to say light seeds because we're all of the light, and whether you're an angelic star seed or a galactic star seed, you know, wherever from the light that you hail, you're all light seeds. So I'm just going to call them light seeds. Okay. So yeah, I feel like that for that period of time, 1985 until recently, okay, they were like sunny July. This July, is that where it, okay, I was just like, this July, because in Australia it's winter, so it's not sunny July. But they're like, sunny July, so I feel like, was it, okay, I keep trying to be like, oh, rewind, was it last July? And they're like, no. They're like, just stop, don't ask that question, that's not it. So I feel like beginning of this July, I think they're like, it was the start of the eclipse. So, because it's beginning of this month, but they're saying sunny July. So I feel like it started in the northern hemisphere, like that energy started coming in rather than in the southern hemisphere, because we're in the darker months and they're in the lighter months, and so it makes sense that more light would come in on that side of the world. Oh, maybe that's partly why there's been more earthquakes, because more light energy is coming in, and so it's helping the earth to release, because if you put more light in, you can push the darkness out. Okay. Yeah, I think that's part of it. You know, part of the earth being able to release is that there's more light coming in now, and there's going to be more light seeds and star seeds coming down, because it's not enough anymore to just be in a holding pattern. We've come to a tipping point where more light can come in, and that is through the light seeds, the star seeds. So that's really interesting, because I this thought had occurred to me a few times, and I was like, oh, it's probably just me making things up. I write fiction, so I have a very vivid imagination, so sometimes it's hard to, and a lot of a lot of the time when I'm writing, I feel like I'm channeling rather than just being in my imagination. So the two are intrinsically linked. So yeah, is there anything else you guys want to say? Okay, they're like the rest of the downloads in the cards. So I'm going to get out my cards now. Let's sit you up there because I don't want to break you. This is my generator crystal. What do I have that I can hold behind it? It needs to be like something black. Oh, I know. Got my tablet. It's my generator from, I was attuned with this in my Reiki Master Teacher journey, and it's got lots of green in there. I forget what it's called, chlora something. And my Master Teacher said one day, because it's like a mold, and she said that one day it'll because it expands, and she said one day it'll probably crack the glass, crack the crystal, like crack it open. But it's like one of my favorite crystals, and it's like pristine, doesn't have any scratches or dents or anything else in it, so I'm like, keep it safe. Okay, they're like, just do one ring. Ooh, I'm excited. I can't wait to see what else they say. I mean, just what they've said so far is interesting. And I'm sure I'm going to rewatch this and be like, ooh, that was interesting. Because I don't fully remember everything I say if I'm channeling and having a conversation with spirits. So it's always interesting. It's like, ooh, what did I forget? I don't feel like this is bright enough, or it's like in the wrong place or something. Like, what is going on? I don't know. Oh, it is bright enough. It's just that I couldn't see properly. So I was like, oh, that's not bright enough. It's fine. It's just that I was being blinded by it. They're like, okay, take the first 5. I'm like, all right. Interesting. I probably should have thought about a layout. They're like, oh, think about that as you go along, it'll be fine. King of Swords, wow. Spirit saying you're at the pinnacle of action. So yeah. And sometimes that means like, okay, you know what you're going to do. Like you're at the height of action, so it's like this is your launching off point, and you have the wisdom to know when to launch off. That's what I feel like this is. So it's like you've come over that rise of preparing, and now you're at the top of that mountain and you're ready to go over the other side. Ace of Pentacles. So new beginnings, definitely. They're saying taking charge, and I feel like for some people there will be new beginnings with money and new growth. Okay, there's lots of chameleons in this card, and spirits keeps drawing my eyes to the chameleons, and they're just like, it's time to step out of that shell and that protective barrier of blending in with everyone else. It's not the time to blend in anymore. It's the time to stand out and be who you were meant to be. Like if you're a Lightseed, you're a Starseed, you're watching this, I think most human beings don't, the Spirit's saying they don't yet have the capacity to understand this. So if you're seeing this, you are a Lightseed, you are a Starseed. Okay, so Starseed is more galactic, whereas Lightseed is more, they're saying like angelic, that sort of, so there's a bit of a differentiation. But they're like, you can use them interchangeably, it's not a big deal. But yeah, they're saying that the light seeds, star seeds, we've all come to a point in our lives where it's like, okay, we're ready to stand up and use our wisdom and channel our wisdom. And it's not the time to blend in anymore. We don't need to. You know, we're living in a world where no one's going to lock you up for saying that you're a galactic light being, like, because there's enough people saying it. And it just, we're in a different time, they're saying. We're in a different time. So there's nothing to fear. You know, people might think you're a bit mental, but that they're saying that's the mirror. And that if it bothers you that they think you're mental, then you need to go into that mirror and be like, okay, why does that trigger me? And how can I stop it from triggering me? Because it sucks to be judged. And that mirror is all about the judgment that you fear being reflected to you. So if you fear that judgment, it's going to affect you and you're going to notice it more often. And if you do, you're in your mirror. And then you just need to work through that. A lot of the time it's trying to just step out of yourself, go into that sort of third person and try to ask Spirit to help you to just sort through it on an energy level. And to help change your thoughts and those fear-based things surrounding that judgment, whatever that thing is that you're being judged for. It might just be judgment in general. You know, some people just have that. And I had it. It was like a real insecurity with people judging you and not liking you. And that's what Spirit said. And I'm like, yeah, that's true. Because it's people not liking you. And not knowing what you're going to walk into in a situation where people are judging you and they don't like you. And no one wants to feel like that. You know, they're saying you never grow old, like you never grow out of that. They're saying not on this planet, like you don't want to be judged, you don't want to be not liked. Knight of Pentacles. Wow. We have a lot of support from Spirit. And we're still sort of in that stage where we haven't fully planted our roots and like started to grow on our own. We're ready to, you know, as I said, we've got everything we need with all those, the tools, and they're saying the training from Spirit. We've been training, and the younger kids who are Starseeds, Lightseeds, they already get it. They're saying we already trained them. They don't need to be trained. It's just us older ones. And they're saying the young ones now, especially now, they're going to come in already awake. Like the babies that are born now, they're saying whether they're Starseeds or Lightseeds or not. Okay, they're saying, I mean, all humans come in with more psychic ability. You know, when you're younger, it's a lot easier to trust, and they're saying the world hasn't got to you yet. I feel like humans, Starseeds, Lightseeds, all of them, when they come in, they're going to have more understanding of what the world actually is and what the world's actually going through. But they're saying that the human children are more likely to lose that. They're saying the Starseeds and the Lightseeds will not lose it. They might hide it for a little while, but they will never lose that knowledge. They're saying they're coming in awake. So the Starseeds and the Lightseeds being born now will not forget. The human kids are also being born aware and awake. They're saying that veil of forgetfulness is already, it's like receding, it's drifting back. I can just see it going, like it's not affecting people as badly anymore. But the thing is, they've just said indoctrination. It's the indoctrination of the earth now. They said there is a bit of a veil of forgetfulness, but okay. They've said that the veil of forgetfulness is still there, but it's more so for the older souls, so people in older bodies who drift out and then come back. So whether that's because you've got something mental going on and your soul needs to step out of your body and then come back, because it would be a shock to you if you'd lived here your whole life and you don't remember any of the galactic, spiritual, universal law that you forget when you come down here. And then you just come back and it's like, boom, you remember everything. You're like, oh my God, I'm insane. Like, I'm certifiable, lock me up. So it's still there for those people. Like, you have a near-death experience, it's there for those people. You know, older people who still need the experience of forgetfulness, because they're saying it would be a shock. Like, it would be a shock to the system. It would be more than most people can handle. Some probably could integrate that, but they're saying it would be very hard to do it like that. They're saying most people who are older just need to wake up and integrate slowly. But the kids are not being born like that. If a child regresses and forgets, it's because they've said something and their parents like, what's wrong with you? Shut up. Like, you're crazy. Stop talking about that stuff. Like, you know what I mean? Because that's what happens. Or a teacher's like, you know, that's just your imagination and that doesn't really exist. Like, it's that kind of crap. Whereas a starseed or a lightseed now, they will not forget. You won't be able to tell them that it's not real. And they won't believe you because they know that it's intrinsically real and that they're not crazy. Because they're going to have a heavier, deeper connection with the light realms rather than a heavy, deep connection with the earth realm and the physical, mental, indoctrinating crap. So, I'm like, can't believe I got that much from one card. I just need to pause because I need to blow my nose and I will not do that to you. And I'm back. Okay, so next card. We've still got 2 cards to go. And I might pull some more after. They're saying it'll be from the light deck, which, okay, I already know what deck that is. It's this deck. I'm just going to sit those cards on it because I've got the right energy. And just that one, this one. Alright, I'm going to tune the deck underneath that. So the next card, 5 of Cups. Now, when I first saw this, I saw that we're still holding on to a lot of emotion. And spirits, they've just said it's hard not to because it's a very, they're saying a high energy time. Oh gosh, like releasing a bit. Because there's so much happening and there's so much change and it is really shaking people up, and a lot of people, they don't know how to deal with it in a healthy way. So there's so much emotion around and so many emotional issues. They're saying the tension within these issues is creating a lot of emotion. And they're saying that as light workers, because we are, I think most of us or all of us would be empaths, we're really feeling that and we're actually taking it on and holding on to it. But we need to start to, they're saying let it be water off your backs. So open your light wings, your what did they call them? They were talking to me about light beings, light workers, starseeds. I'm trying to remember. It was like open your wings of divinity. So open your wings of divinity before you leave your house and wrap them around you, because feather, just let it roll off you. Emotion is water is emotion. Just let it, open your wings, surround them, around yourself to protect you, puff them up, make them as big as you like, and protect yourself as you walk out into the world, because they're saying it's no joke right now. Like they're saying the energy rippling off of other people it's a lot to deal with, no matter where you're going. Everyone's sorting their stuff, except not everyone is sorting it as well as what a light seed or a star seed is, or just someone who is on their spiritual path and actually walking it, not just saying that they're walking it. So I think that a lot of people, they're making it like emotionally chaotic in the world because they're feeling emotionally chaotic. So we need to let go of that and find ways to protect ourselves before we leave the house, and set the intention that, okay, I can see my beautiful, pure white wings of divinity surrounding me, protecting me, and that all emotion that does not belong to me just ripples off and away, and is transmuted to the light. And set that intention, like, this intention is going to hold until the end of the day when I come home into my safe space. You know, and look, the other thing is, sometimes, whether you're a young person still living with your parents, like me, because my health is I'm still trying to, you know, climb out of that, you know, or you're a parent and you've got little kids, or a husband, or, you know, you live in a share house and your roommates don't get it, and, you know, their emotional garbage is just being flung around everywhere as well. Leave them on while you're at home, you know. They're saying it's just a spiritual protection. It's just a spiritual barrier for all the emotional garbage. And, you know, call them in for help, because they will be there to help you to, whether it's your emotion or other people's, you know, if you absorb something that's not yours or whatever, you don't have to hold on to that. Ask them to help you to channel in and remove that energy. So right now, kind of, for a lot of people, it feels like we're swimming upstream, or like we're fish and we've flopped out of the water and we're like, flopping around dying. It's okay to feel like that, they're saying. It's just the energy. It'll pass. They just say it'll pass. Just, you know, you might feel like a fish out of water, or that you're swimming upstream. They're saying it's okay. You know, you will get past it. But yeah, we have more help than we know. And it's all different kinds of help. You know, all different kinds of light beings are here to support us. You know, or you can call them down. You can call anyone down. If it's a light being and you think that they're going to help you, or you resonate with a specific god or goddess or energy or star or whatever, you know, call it, ask it for help. They're saying we can't help you if you don't ask. If you don't invite us to the table, we can't fill your cup. So yeah, don't feel like you're lost, or like, oh, like, I'm all alone, I don't have any help. You do. There's plenty of help. Some of them are just here to hold the light for you until you can do it for yourself. And some of them you need to call in to, yeah, like, if they're saying if you're feeling weary, like a lot of us, swimming upstream is hard work, you know? Like, when you've accidentally flipped out the water and you're like, oh man, I'm dying. You need a bit of help. And it's exhausting. It does make you weary. But they just want us to persevere, and we have everything that we need. And I'm just going to take out my other cards now and flip a few of those out. I'm getting 3. I'm going to take out 3. These are very thick cards, so they don't shuffle as well as the thin tarot. Like the tarot, just like, they're like silk, they just slide. They're so nice to shuffle. These are a bit cumbersome. That's it. How many is that? That's more than 3. Oh gosh, all right. Good Lord. Someone's like, oh, I'm going to take 3 cards. And I'm like, well, you're not actually. How many have I got? Well, I've got 6. I suppose that's something. It's 3 and 3. Okay. Council of Light, Divine Orchestration, Helpers in the Subtle Realms. Yeah, so call for help. Ask for it. They are there. Birthing a new age, birthing new creations, dreaming a new world into being. Yeah. So it's not just about working through your own stuff. It's also about, they want us to set our intentions, and because we are co-creators. We co-create our own reality with divine and with Mother Earth. But we can also help to create the new world, the new earth. So start dreaming about what you do want. Don't think, oh, I don't want that to happen. No, think about what you do want. Awakening, energetic upgrades, a new way of being, integration. I mean, with all these eclipses, like July, all the energy, there's like 6 planets in retrograde. It is no joke, this energy. So Anna, grandmother of Jesus, seeding the light, laying foundations, divine plan. Wow. So maybe she's been here this whole time, like talking to us about the Lightseeds, the Starseeds. She's helping with the integration, I feel like. Definitely. Deep replenishment, retreat, rest, be held. Yeah, it's okay to get to that pinnacle and like, okay, let's just have a bit of a rest, because that climb was hard work. The energy right now is hard work. It's no joke. It's okay to rest and recuperate and dance with life. Do something to change your energy. Yeah, so don't get bogged down in the energy. Keep it in the light. Even if you're having a hard time, or yeah, like, it's okay to have a hard time, but you can't live there. So at some point you have to let it go, and you have to start doing things differently, and you have to start asking for help. You know, it's not enough to just do it on your own. And, you know, whether you can see, hear, feel, whatever it is, intuit, other beings from light realms or not, you still need to call them in and ask for help. As long as you believe, that's all they're saying. Just believe that if you ask and you believe, they will come. So yeah, there's so much help, you know, honestly. Like, all I see in all these cards is that there's just so much help for us. And if you're going through a hard time, whether it's, you know, July and all the energy shifts and upgrades and things that we're going through, okay, they're saying that it's like a replenishment of your light codes. So if something's knocked you off course, and maybe you might have forgotten some of your downloads, whether they're downloads that you came in here with, or they're ones that you've picked up along the way through the energy of the planets and solar flares and all that sort of thing. Any kind of activation that's been happening. If you sort of lost them, it's about, like, July is about really making sure that everyone has all of their codes, and that even if they're not being awakened right now, that they're there and they're like locked in, so that when you're ready to burst out and, you know, launch yourself off the top of that mountain and be seen and heard, and that when you're ready to not be the chameleon anymore and you're ready to stand out, that you do have all this light support around you. And that, you know, you can still be a master and ask for help. You know, we never stop needing help. This is Earth, okay? It's no joke. You need help. I need help. We all need help. So don't be afraid to ask for help. So yeah, I'm just being drawn to this card again. Council of Light. Divine orchestration. Helpers in the subtle realms. You know, I mean, these all look like ascended masters. So hopefully that showed up okay. But yeah, like, they're all there. They're all listening, waiting. The thing is this is a planet of free will. They can't interfere unless you ask them to. So you have to ask, you know. And it can just be in your mind. You don't have to write it down. You know, if your family would think you're mental for believing all of this, or, you know, to read your journal and be like, oh, like, my child needs to be committed. Don't write it down. You don't have to. All you have to do is think it. You don't have to say it out loud. You don't have to write it down. You just have to think it. Just, you know, hold golden light, sacred space for yourself, and imagine your crown chakra opening and sending out a message saying, help me. You know, help me with this, help me with that, support me, cleanse me, whatever it is. So yeah, don't forget about your wings of divinity. Open them up, you know, like imagine them like just spreading out of your back and getting as big as what you need them. If you're in a scary situation, make them bigger and wrap them all the way around you so that you're completely covered. I see mine as like, they're feathers, but they're also iridescent with light and colour, like all the colours of the rainbow, and light, like white light. And it's the colour of protection. And just completely surround yourself and set that intention for the day, or just for the month. Like if you're going through a crappy month in July, just set it for the month. You know, you can just set them to stay like that. So yeah, they're just saying walk in your full power, whether it's your wings of divinity or drawing God's symbol, which I've said in another video, which is it's just a circle with a dot in the middle. So the first video that I did for Ascension Stargate 33 has that symbol information in it. But yeah, I think that's about all. Like, they haven't fully pulled back, but I feel like they're going to stay and work with me and like sort some of my stuff because it's the eclipse, and they'd be very welcome to stay and help me. So yeah, I might go and have some dinner, and yeah, I think that's about it. So I'm going to sign off, and hopefully this has helped you. And if you have any questions, you can leave a comment below or on my Instagram. I also have a Facebook, and they're all just Lilareziel. Same spelling, easy to find. So yeah, I hope to speak to you soon. Until then, take 3 for luck, and open those wings of divinity. Bye.